Most people who never achieved their goals all made the same mistake. A mistake they genuinely believed was the right thing to do. A simple mistake that you're probably making every day too. And it might be the exact reason you're still not where you want to be. You've probably enjoyed telling other people about your goals and plans. Maybe you even think that if you tell everyone, you'll be more likely to succeed. After all, when you tell your friends and family, they'll support you and encourage you, even if they do it out of politeness. And right there, your brain receives a fake reward and feels good, even though you haven't actually done anything yet. On top of that, you think that if other people know about your plans, you'll feel responsible and be forced to follow through. But that's mostly nonsense, because a lot of psychological research shows the exact opposite. Very often, when you talk about your goals before taking action, your chances of achieving them actually decrease. Your brain gets tricked into feeling like you've already completed part of the journey. Years ago, psychologists discovered that when we set a goal, it creates a kind of mental tension inside our minds. That tension is what pushes us to keep moving until we achieve the goal. Later, researchers realized that if this tension gets released through some other channel, a person's motivation starts to drop. For example, when you talk about your plans and people praise or encourage you, your brain registers that praise almost like a real achievement. As a result, some of the energy and motivation that should have been used for actual work disappears. Imagine you want to open a small coffee shop. Early in the morning, you go tell your friends all about it. They give you some feel-good encouragement and say, "Yeah, bro, go for it. My friend did something similar and crushed it." Your brain feeds on that validation all day long. By the end of the day, you're feeling great, but you haven't actually done anything. People love defining themselves through certain identities: a writer, an entrepreneur, an athlete, an artist. The problem starts when you only talk about that identity and get validation for it. Someone hasn't even written a single book yet, but people are already telling them, "Wow, you're going to be such an amazing writer." Or someone hasn't even started a business yet, but people are already admiring them. It's basically the same as those fantasies many guys have while lying in bed at night, imagining themselves as famous athletes and enjoying the feeling. I used to imagine myself playing for Chelsea, standing over a free kick in the 90th minute. Anyway, the point is that all this praise makes the brain feel like part of the journey is already complete, which reduces the motivation to do the real work. So how exactly is dopamine fooling you? A huge part of human motivation is connected to a chemical in the brain called dopamine. Contrary to what many people believe, dopamine isn't just the pleasure chemical. Its main job is to push us toward rewards. When we talk about an exciting goal and people admire us for it, the brain receives an immediate reward and dopamine spikes. But after that spike comes a crash. The result, the real work, which is harder and takes longer, suddenly feels much less appealing. In simple terms, your brain has already collected part of the reward before doing the work, so it no longer feels the same urgency to act. Imagine two different mornings. On one morning, you spend an hour listening to music and fantasizing about your dream future. You picture yourself succeeding and feel amazing. But when it's finally time to work, you don't have the same level of energy and motivation anymore. Your brain already got its reward. On the other morning, you start working without giving yourself that emotional reward beforehand. You'll often find yourself doing the work far more effectively. Years ago, some scientists believed the human mind worked like a steam engine. They thought that if you didn't express your emotions and thoughts, pressure would build up until you exploded. That's why many people still believe talking about goals helps release mental pressure. But newer research suggests the brain behaves more like a muscle than a steam engine. A muscle becomes stronger through training and use. Motivation works the same way. The more you act, the stronger that mental muscle grows. The more you act, the stronger that mental muscle grows. But when you only talk, some of the mental energy that should have been used for action gets wasted. In studies involving university students, researchers found that people who kept their goals private stayed committed to their study plans for longer periods of time. Other experiments found that people who frequently talked about their identity-based goals became discouraged faster and were more likely to quit
halfway through. Another interesting finding is that when people post pictures of goal-related items on social media, they're often less likely to fully pursue the goal itself. Even in historical accounts and religious teachings, there are repeated recommendations not to announce your plans before they've produced results. The reason isn't just jealousy from others. Avoiding outside interference and protecting your own focus also matter. Many historical figures suffered major failures after revealing their intentions too early. Those who study history know exactly what I'm talking about.
Many successful people were mocked, criticized, or doubted at the beginning. George Lucas received extremely negative feedback before Star Wars became successful. Walt Disney was fired because he was supposedly lacking creativity. J.K. Rowling was rejected by publishers multiple times. If they had spent all their time chasing validation from other people, they probably never would have achieved anything remarkable. Now that Instagram and TikTok exist, this problem has become even worse. Many people don't actually work toward their goals. Instead, they display symbols of those goals. Someone hasn't even started trading yet, but already sees himself as Elon Musk. He posts screenshots of charts online just to look impressive and trigger that reward response in his brain. Or someone buys a book, posts it on their story, gets a few likes, and then the book ends up collecting dust alongside dozens of others. Talking about your goals feels amazing, but during the early stages, it's something you need to control carefully. That good feeling can trick the brain into believing part of the goal has already been achieved, reducing real motivation. Another disaster that can happen is this. You tell someone your goal because you want them to think you're impressive, but if you fail, you suddenly look like a loser in their eyes. If this happens repeatedly, it can seriously damage your self-confidence. That's why who you share your goals with matters a lot. So how do you escape this trap? First, stop looking for praise and validation every time you come up with an idea or goal. Let the real reward come after you've actually done the work. It's far more satisfying. If you absolutely need to share your goal with someone, focus on accountability rather than the final outcome. Instead of saying, "I'm going to build an incredible project," say, "If I haven't made progress by the end of the week, check in on me." It's also better to surround yourself with people who don't constantly praise you and who focus more on actual performance. Ideally, people who are emotionally neutral and experienced in the field you're pursuing. Another powerful strategy is breaking your goal into very small steps and moving forward gradually. That allows your brain to receive rewards little by little while maintaining motivation. In the end, talking about success often replaces actually becoming successful. That's why one of the best things you can do is talk less about your goals and spend more time working on them. Ultimately, your results should speak for you, not your promises and plans. If you made it this far and enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos.